Okay, let's dive in. Picture this. It's 1967, right? And scientists start picking up these radio signals
Hmm.
from deep space. And they're so incredibly regular, so precise, that they actually joked maybe it's little green men.
Yeah, LGM. Sounds like something out of a movie, but that precision, that regularity, that was the real puzzle.
And the start of something huge, understanding pulsars.
Exactly. And it's fascinating, isn't it, how that first kind of playful guess, LGM, really points to how science works sometimes.
How so?
Well, when you find something totally new, something that doesn't fit, you often reach for what you do know, even if it's wrong. It shows how weird the discovery really was.
That makes sense. It forces a shift in thinking.
Precisely. Paradigm shifts often start with an anomaly, something that just doesn't compute with current ideas.
Right. And that's the story we're really digging into today. We're looking at Jocelyn Bell Burnell's journey, the discovery of pulsars.
The challenges, definitely.
Yeah, the challenges, the breakthroughs, and what it all means. We'll be using the material you shared to get beyond just what happened.
And into the why it matters, what it reveals about, well, science itself.
And about persistence, really. Human curiosity against the odds.
Absolutely. And the sources really emphasize that breakthroughs often come from just meticulous observation, looking closely.
And being willing to question things.
Yeah, and questioning assumptions. Plus, this story, as we'll see, really sparks important conversations about credit and recognition in science.
Okay, so let's set the scene. The info we have starts with a young Jocelyn Bell Burnell, Northern Ireland, right? Already fascinated by the stars.
Mm-hmm. But her path wasn't straightforward. Not at all.
No, it seems like she hit a wall pretty early on.
A big one. The 11+ exam. This was a huge deal in the British education system back then.
And she failed it.
She did. And the assessment was basically that she wasn't cut out for academic work. Imagine hearing that at 11.
Wow. That
Right.
could have just ended things right there, the potential loss.
It really could have. But thankfully, her parents stepped in.
Ah, okay, that's crucial. The sources mention their support.
Absolutely vital. They saw her curiosity, her intelligence, and they just refused to accept that judgment. They really pushed for her.
And then later, at secondary school, another hurdle, something about science classes.
Right. Gender inequality, plain and simple. Boys did the science labs, the experiments.
And girls,
Girls were steered towards domestic science, cooking, sewing.
you're kidding. While the boys are doing physics.
That was the reality. It's hard to believe now, looking back.
So what happened? Did she just accept that?
No, again, her parents and others, they fought back. They protested.
Good for them.
And they won. The school eventually allowed girls into the science classes.
And it turned out?
She excelled. Really had a knack for physics, for astronomy. Just makes you wonder, doesn't it?
What's that?
Well, what happens when the world says no, tells you this isn't for you, but something inside you just keeps pulling you forward? That passion says yes.
It's a powerful thought. How much talent gets wasted because society puts up these barriers.
Exactly. So many potential discoveries perhaps missed.
Okay, so she overcomes these obstacles, gets into University Glasgow first, then Cambridge for her PhD.
Right, Cambridge, for radio astronomy. And this is where things really start moving towards the big discovery.
The radio telescope project, she wasn't just using it, she helped build it.
Yes, she was actively involved in constructing this, well, enormous new telescope.
Yeah.
It was specifically designed to look for quasars.
Quasars.
Remind us, think super bright, very distant galactic cores powered by massive black holes, very energetic, kind of erratic signals expected.
Got it. And building the telescope gave her a deep understanding of how it worked, its quirks.
Exactly. Intimate knowledge of the instrument, which probably proved crucial later.
And then came the data analysis. This part is just staggering.
Yeah.
3 kilometers of paper printouts.
Let that sink in. 3 kilometers, analyzing it all by hand.
By eye. No fancy computers doing the first pass, just painstaking work.
Pure dedication. And somewhere in all that paper, amongst all the expected signals and noise,
Yeah.
she spots something.
Something odd.
Very odd. A little bit of scruff, as she apparently called it. A signal that repeated. Really, really regularly.
Not like a quasar at all.
Not at all. Most people, maybe even her supervisor initially, might have just dismissed it. Interference. Instrument error.
But she did.
She didn't. She noted it down, kept looking for it. That persistence, that refusal to ignore the anomaly, that was everything.
That little mark on the chart paper, that question mark, changed astronomy.
It really did. The signal kept showing up always from the same spot in the sky, following sidereal time.
Meaning it was coming from space, not Earth?
Right. So then they had to start ruling things out. Could it be some kind of Earth-based interference they hadn't thought of?
And this is where the LGM idea comes back in briefly.
Yes, sort of half-jokingly, but they had to consider everything because it was so strange. They called the source LGM-1 initially.
Little Green Man won.
Amazing. It just shows how unprecedented it was. But once they'd ruled out all terrestrial sources, all known astronomical phenomena,
They were left with one conclusion.
it had to be something new, a new type of celestial object, the first pulsar.
Wow. Can you just imagine that moment? Realizing you're the first person ever to see this? The regular pulse of a neutron star.
It's hard to fully grasp, isn't it? Detecting this incredibly dense, spinning remnant of a star. Like finding a whole new fundamental component of the universe. Electrifying, I'd imagine.
A fundamental cosmic heartbeat. Incredible.
A truly monumental discovery. A testament to meticulous work and open-mindedness. But then the story takes a different turn.
Yeah, the sources highlight this part clearly. The Nobel Prize, 1974.
Awarded for the discovery of pulsars, yes. To Anthony Hewish, her supervisor, and Martin Ryle, another radio astronomer at Cambridge.
But not to Jocelyn Bell Burnell.
No. The person who actually first detected the signal, pinpointed it, argued for its significance,
Yeah.
she was left out.
That just feels wrong. Didn't it cause a stir at the time?
Oh, absolutely. Huge controversy. Many scientists, and the public too, felt it was a major injustice. They argued her contribution was absolutely pivotal.
So why was she excluded? Was it just because she was a student?
That was certainly part of the argument. The prize typically went to the project leaders. But it definitely sparked a big debate about how we recognize contributions, especially from junior researchers or those in less senior positions.
And maybe unconscious bias played a role too. A young woman in a male-dominated field.
It's impossible to ignore that context. The whole episode really highlights the complexities of attributing credit in big science collaborations and potential biases in the system.
What's amazing, though, is her reaction. The sources say she was very gracious about it.
Remarkably so. Publicly, she maintained that as a student, it was right for the supervisor leading the project to receive the award. Very diplomatic.
But that doesn't really erase the feeling that her crucial role wasn't fully acknowledged by the prize itself.
No, it doesn't. And that feeling has persisted. It remains a key example discussed when talking about recognition in science.
A stark reminder that science isn't always this purely objective meritocracy we imagine. But look what happened next. She didn't let this define her, did she?
Not at all. Quite the opposite. She went on to have an absolutely stellar career, became a major leader in the scientific community.
Like president of the Royal Society of Edinburgh.
Yes, and president of the Institute of Physics, chancellor of the University of Dundee.
Yeah.
Major prestigious roles. Her research continued across many areas of astrophysics.
And she became a huge advocate for equality in science, right? The sources mention Athena Swan.
Yes, her advocacy work has been incredibly important. She's championed efforts to improve gender equality and diversity in STEM fields. Knowing the barriers firsthand, she worked to dismantle them for others.
That makes her later recognition even more meaningful. The Special Breakthrough Prize in 2018.
A huge honor, yes, and specifically recognizing her pulsar discovery and her lifetime of leadership.
And what she did with the prize money, that was just incredible.
Donating the entire $3 million.
All of it to fund scholarships for underrepresented groups in physics. Women, minorities, refugees.
It was such a powerful statement, turning her own experience, including the Nobel controversy, into fuel to create opportunities for others who face barriers. Truly inspirational.
It really is. The sources use that metaphor. She's like a pulsar herself.
Resilient, consistent, emitting this powerful signal. It fits, doesn't it?
It really does. So pulling back, what are the big lessons here, looking through that cosmic lens?
Well, one key thing is about how she made the discovery. Looking closely at the scruff, the noise that others might ignore.
Don't dismiss the anomalies.
Exactly. Question assumptions. That tiny, unexpected signal held revolutionary information. It tells us that breakthroughs can come from unexpected corners, if we're paying attention.
And if we challenge the status quo, the established ideas.
Precisely. It's about being curious, being persistent, even when something doesn't fit the neat picture you expected. And challenging the barriers, too, the ones society puts up.
So it connects back to you listening now. Her story isn't just about astronomy, is it?
Not at all. It's a call to action, really. Persevere through your own difficulties. Approach challenges with that same curiosity. Don't let expectations limit you.
Yeah. Think about those first LGM signals again, from a weird puzzle.
to a fundamental piece of the cosmic puzzle, pulsars. It shows how far curiosity and persistence can take our understanding.
So wrapping up our deep dive today, the key takeaways feel pretty clear.
hmm Perseverance is crucial. Challenging barriers, societal, academic is vital.
The sheer thrill of discovery is a powerful motivator.
And the fight for fairness, for equity in science and everywhere else, that's an ongoing, essential mission.
So here's something to think about, a final thought for you. Reflecting on Jocelyn Bell Burnell's journey, what's your 3 kilometers of data? What challenges or complex information are you navigating right now?
And are there any unexpected signals, any scruff that you might discover if you look really closely with persistence?
And maybe, just maybe, think about the impact you could have. By challenging norms, by lifting others up, as you pursue your own goals, what could that unlock?